Okay, has anybody seen my car? Today's adventure takes us to Greece. No, we're not in Greece. You might think we're in Greece because of what's behind me, and we'll explore that in a little bit. Today's adventure takes us to Lakewood Cemetery in Minneapolis. Yes, that Minneapolis, Minnesota. This cemetery is, if I had to rate a cemetery, this is at the top of my list. One of the top cemeteries I have ever been in. The who's who of Minnesota is here. The upkeep of this cemetery is amazing. The monuments in this cemetery are just beautiful. And we're also going to show you the mausoleum of Mr. Mars. Yes, the man that started the Mars Candy Company and invented the Milky Way candy bar. And if it wasn't for him, you would be 10 pounds lighter. So come join me as we explore Lakewood Cemetery. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me on another cemetery video. Today I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Lakewood Cemetery. And the first marker we're going to come upon near the entrance to the cemetery is that of Mr. Thomas Barlow Walker, who came to Minnesota in 1863. Look at this monument. Just beautiful. He acquired timberlands and set up sawmills throughout the state. And within 10 years, he was amongst the most wealthy and influential men in Minneapolis. Then his focus changed to art. And in 1916, he and his wife began planning a new gallery to house his art collection, which eventually became the Walker Art Gallery, which opened in May of 1927. What a beautiful monument. And here on the ground, we have many of the Walker family that had passed away. A lot of walkers in this cemetery, and a beautiful monument to Thomas and the Walker family. Look at that. Just magnificent on this beautiful June morning. Birds chirping, squirrels aplenty. Let's check out some of these monuments, should we? Just remarkable. We have straight away the Van Nest and Blasdell Monument. Look at that. Wow. Huge monument, standing about 20 feet tall with a large statue. Of a woman holding something in her hand. We have William K. Blasdell, died November 27th, 1901, 67. And Jeannie, his wife, daughter of Stephen and Sarah Fletcher, died 1900 at the age of 61. And that is just a remarkable monument. And here we have, on this side, Robert Blasdell, born 1802, died 1887. And Mary, his wife, passed away in 1888. Wow. Brown monument here. Look at that statue. A woman and young child. That is just remarkable. Betha Drew, wife of George Drew, died 1883 at the age of 65. I mean, this is a beautiful monument, but amongst these other monuments, you know, in any other cemetery, this would be a heck of a monument, but here it's just so many incredible monuments. Look at this obelisk. Wow. We are near the airport, so you will hear aircraft flying overhead. Clinton Reynolds, born 1835, died 1898. See the Reynolds name down here. Filming this monument does not do it justice. This monument's at least 40 feet tall. Absolutely huge. Pillsbury Monument. Yeah, at first I thought Pillsbury, well, that makes sense. But this is John Pillsbury, and he moved west from New Hampshire in 1855 and started a hardware business in St. Anthony. And by 1860, he was active in politics, serving as an alderman and then a state senator before being elected governor of the state of Minnesota in 1875. And he held that position for 3 terms. And this monument is just absolutely stunning. At least 40 feet tall. Just unbelievable. Next to the Pillsbury Memorial is McNair, and another one that is at least 40 feet high, a single column with an urn on top. And this is so high, I'm going to have to back up here for you to be able to see it. But the urn is amongst the trees up there. I mean, this is incredible. Wow. What amazing monuments. Green Longfellow Monument. Maddie Green, wife of Levi Longfellow, died August 28th, 1875. I have to take a look at this statue over here. It has caught my eye. Look at this. Parker's the name on this one. Look at that. Holding the anchor. Just a beautiful monument. I come up on this one here, which I think is very relevant. It says, daughter of a soldier of the Revolution, placed by Daughters of the American Revolution. Atai is the name, maybe? A-T-A-I, Lovejoy, 1780 to 1859. And there we have the Lovejoy Monument. So this is one small section of the cemetery. I mean, I love big cemeteries and I hate big cemeteries because there's just so much to look at that I get a little overwhelmed with it. Carpenter, 2 columns there, beautiful. I do get a little overwhelmed with larger cemeteries because I want to show you as much as possible, but there's so much to look at. It's one of those that I could be in here for days. I don't have days. So we're just going to take a general walk through here. I apologize if I missed something that you're interested in, but I do see another one here. Christian's a name, John Christian. Another one with the statue, the woman with the anchor, which we did see previously. John A. Christian, 1832 to 1886. His wife Mary passed away in 1881. His wife Mary was 29 years old, it looks like. You can see there, August 15th, 1851 to March 19th, 1881. So she was rather young when she passed away. It's got this large stone here, it just says Smith on it. And I wanted to check out this one right here, it's because it is sort of different. Fry is the name. Let's see if there's more on this side. Yeah, here we go. We have George Fry, who just passed away in 2021. And his wife, I assume, Anna, passed away many years ago. This is a nice old one. William Tomlinson, 1871. What a beautiful monument here. Blasdell is the name. The angel kneeling, holding a wreath in her right hand, leaning up against the cross. And behind that is the grave of Maggie, died January 24th, 1872. And this becomes relevant because this is the first burial in this cemetery is Maggie. Maggie was 19 years old and the first person buried here. We continue our walk here in Lakewood. This one caught my eye. Blake is the name on this. How beautiful. Somebody has to go and put a pack of cigarettes there. It's ridiculous. Anyways, what a beautiful monument. Looks to be, has a quill in one hand and some parchment or paper there in the other. You notice the little bird sits atop the angel's wing on the angel's right shoulder. But Blake is the name on this one. Just beautiful. Well, I tell you what, if you want a beautiful view as your final resting spot, this is the place. That is the view from the cemetery overlooking a large lake. Many people out this morning as the weather is absolutely perfect. I'm going to take a look at, I don't believe these to be very old, but they are very, very nice. McGraw is the name on this one. Beautiful monument. There's an obelisk here that is got to be 30 feet tall. It says erected AD 1885 by the Minneapolis Head Millers Association in memory of those who lost their lives in the Great Mill Explosion, May 2nd, 1878. And this is a list of those who did lose their life in that mill explosion. And let me get a perspective of this absolutely fantastic obelisk. So we walk through here, a few more modern monuments, just beautiful though. Guider's the name on that one with the urn. What I want to do is show you the very first lot, Lot 1, Section 1 in here. And why is it Lot 1, Section 1? Well, it's the Pence Memorial. And Ellen Francis and Sir Joseph Francis lived in New York, but they vacationed here in Minneapolis before this cemetery was founded. And according to legend, Ellen Francis stood on a hill looking west over this lake, and she thought this was the most beautiful spot and wanted this to be her final resting place. So when the cemetery was laid out, Sir Francis purchased this lot on the spot where she had stood, and this is considered Lot 1, Section 1, right here. You have Ellen and Sir Joseph Francis, died 1873. And here's Joseph Francis, the father and founder of the U.S. Life Saving Service, founder of the American Shipwreck Society, inventor of the corrugated metallic lifeboat, received the thanks of the 49th Congress, honored by the 50th Congress for his services to humanity, honored, decorated, rewarded, and knighted by the crowned heads of Europe, 1801 to 1893. Wow. Amazing. And here we have Isaac Francis, probably a son, and Sarah, daughter of Isaac, and granddaughter of Ellen and Joseph Francis, born 1861, died 1882, very young. And here's that view. Lot 1, Section 1. Just great. As we hear the chapel bells ringing in the distance. We're going to look at, I'm in another section of the cemetery now. This is the J.W. Pence Memorial. And look at that statue up there. Let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. I guess I can't. My Zoom decides it doesn't want to work right now. Okay. Well, maybe you can zoom in yourself. John Wesley Pence is the name. He was a prominent financier who built the Pence Opera House here in Minneapolis, which opened in 1867. And it was the first cultural center here in Indianapolis. Just a beautiful monument to him. Let's see what else we have here. Right next to that is George Brackett, who was the Lakewood founder. So he founded this cemetery. He moved from Minnesota from Maine in the 1850s. He also helped organize the Northern Pacific Railroad with William Washburn. Beautiful monument to him. What else do we have in here? So much to look at. Charles Loring, Father of the parks, it says. He is another one of Lakewood's founders. Spent 35 years developing the Minneapolis park system. In 1890, the city's Central Park was renamed Loring Park in his honor. Loring's efforts to bring the beauty of nature to all citizens of Minneapolis made him known as Father of the Parks. And there he is right there. Another massive, massive monument here. Column with the urn up top, the draped urn, as we see so often. Wolford is the name. Just beautiful. Wow. Then next to that, we have William Cornell. Statue, woman holding a cross. Unbelievable monuments in this cemetery. Like many of these old cemeteries, we do have a Civil War section, complete with Civil War cannon and a lot of Civil War soldiers buried here. Here we have a monument to the Civil War soldiers. As we see the GAR, Grand Army of the Republic. The soldier atop of that, 1861 to 1865. We're going to also look at this one across the way here. This is the Minneapolis Fire Department Memorial, MFD, you see there. Erected 1892. Another huge monument, statue atop. We do have names of firefighters who have passed away over the years. Many, many firefighters. And there we see about halfway up, more than halfway up maybe, hook, ladder, axe. What a beautiful monument. We'll take a walk over here. This is one of those cemeteries that you can't, there's no way you can fully walk this cemetery. It'll take hours. So I get to, I'm driving section to section, checking things out. Thought this was really unique. Beeman is the name. And we see a sailboat sailing through the gates of heaven. That is really, really nice. We have some awesome mausoleums here. Wood is the name on this one. Pyramid-shaped mausoleum. Just beautiful. And we have St. McKnight. interesting because there's a netting of some sort in the doorway to prevent, I assume that's to prevent people from coming in. Beautiful monument here, almost looks like a bank. And what's even a little more interesting, there appears to be electrical going in there, as there is an electrical conduit going into the mausoleum. I'm not sure why that would be needed. Perhaps, I don't know, home theater system in there? Beautiful mausoleum. And next to it we have another one. See if we can establish the name here on this one. Fichet appears to be the name. Beautiful, beautiful mausoleums. So I'm yet another section of the cemetery. And let me take a pan here. You can see the monuments continue. The aircraft continue to land overhead. We're on final approach for landing. They're not actually landing overhead. That'd be a little strange. This is a remarkable mausoleum. Talk about classical revival. It looks like something that should be in Greece. Belongs to Dr. Calvin Goodrich, Lakewood's first president. He was a prominent physician and abolitionist who helped many slaves escape to the North. He helped organize the Northwestern National Bank. I mean, look at that. Obviously very wealthy. Just remarkable. Look at these columns, guys. Now, if I remember from my architecture studies, you have Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian columns. I don't recall offhand which are which. Yeah, it was many years ago. Just beautiful. Wow. That is fabulous. Look at that. What a magnificent mausoleum. I do not know how many people are inside. Obviously, I'm sure it's the entire family. That is absolutely stunning. Wow. All those columns. Amazing. Yes, we are in another section of the cemetery. I have been here for hours. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep checking out some of these magnificent mausoleums. There's a sprinkler there. That's one thing I've noticed with the cemetery too. I've never seen so many workers keeping the cemetery up. I mean, they're out here mowing and watering, and it's really impressive. I mean, there's dozens of workers out here working. Chevlin is the name on that. I mean, dozens. It's just kind of fascinating. I have never seen that many workers in a cemetery at one time. Lewis is the name. I'm not going to stop at each one just because there's just so much to see. We have groves here. Look at that. That's beautiful too. You have the 4 columns. Just remarkable. And what do we have here? Look at this marble mausoleum. I mean, look at the columns. Awesome is all I can say. Just awesome. Wazzy. Look at that. That is just awesome. Remarkable. So obviously there's many large cemeteries that I have not been in. Even in Chicago, I haven't been to Graceland yet, I haven't been to Roseland yet, and I want to get there, but these large cemeteries do overwhelm me. But this cemetery so far takes the cake with the largest and nicest one I've been in. How is the name here? And this is very Egyptian-like. Just beautiful. And we're going to walk down here a little bit because I want to show you the man, or the mausoleum of the man then invented the Milky Way candy bar. Yeah, that's right, the Mars family. Franklin C. Mars. He was the creator of Mars and the Milky Way candy bar. He died in 1934 in Maryland. And he was moved here to Lakewood in 1945. And here is his final resting place. If it wasn't for this man, you can forget about your Milky Ways and your M&Ms and your candy, because he was the man that started it all. So you can blame him for your extra 10 pounds. Everything is kept up so nice in here. It's really, truly remarkable. What a beautiful mausoleum. Look at that. Wow. Boy, if I had to rate memorials, this is a 10 right here. Look at that. This stands 45 feet tall. The Rochelau, I'm sure I butchered that, memorial. In 1907, Minneapolis businessman Louis Rochelau commissioned a monument in memory of his wife Charlotte, who died at the age of 37 in 1906. This is a granite monument, and this is the tallest monument in this cemetery, about 45 feet tall. Absolutely amazing, amazing monument. Okay, has anybody seen my car? I mean, I parked somewhere in here and I started walking around, and this place is so big, I don't know where my car is. Somewhere around here. But thank you all so much for coming on this walk with me. This was incredible. I don't know how many steps I've put in today, but a lot of steps, and it was well worth it. This cemetery is absolutely wonderful. Lakewood Cemetery here in Minneapolis. If you ever get to Minneapolis, easy for me to say, I do encourage you to come here. You will not be disappointed. And thank you again for coming with me. Until next time, that's right, keep exploring. Okay, I know my car, now I think it's by this monument. Remember the Lowry Goodrich Monument? And I think I parked over here. Wow. Ah, yes. I have found the car.